Hi everyone, this is Paul and you're watching Billy's Educatila. In this today video session, I would like to discuss about polymorphism. Before going to the video, please subscribe my channel and like the video and share the content which is present in my channel and press the bell icon for my notifications. Now let us discuss the topic of polymorphism. What is polymorphism? Polymorphism in Java is a concept by which we can perform a single action in different ways. That means if we have one action, that action can be performed in different ways. So here is a real life example. A person who has a different characteristics, while he act as a father and he act as a husband and he act as an employee in a company. So there is a single person but he is performing different tasks. That means he is acting as a father and he is acting as a husband and he is acting as an employee. So this is a real life example of a polymorphism. So polymorphism is derived from Greek. So poly means many and morphos means forms. So polymorphism means many forms. While coming to inheritance lets us inherit the attributes and the methods from the another class, that means the parent class, while polymorphism helps us to create the methods to perform different tasks. This allows us to perform a single action in the different ways. So when we are inheriting the methods in the parent to the child class, so this child class performs different actions by using the parent class methods. So the method name is same but the operations that are performing in the child class are different. So in this way the polymorphism works. So there are two types of polymorphisms in Java. One is compile time, or other name is static polymorphism, and the other one is runtime or dynamic polymorphism. Now let us discuss each of them. Before discussing the compile time polymorphism, I would like to discuss about method overloading. What is method overloading? In method overloading, a class have two or more methods in with the same name and the different parameters. So here we have the same methods but we have different parameters. So we have int a in one method, while in another method we have two parameters, that is int a and int b, while in another method we have character a. So in each method we have different parameters. So in this way the method overloading occurs. That means if we have a class, in that class we have same methods but we have different parameters. So get my point. Same method but different parameters. In overloading, return type could vary in both methods. So here is an example. So here is a class named as sum. So the main aim of this class is to perform the sum. So in this we are performing a sum between x and y. So the return type is x plus y, while in another method we have int x, y and z. So the return type is x plus y plus z. So the return type is varying between the methods. While in another method we have double. In this method we have the return type as x plus y, but the output will be in the form of points. So here the output is varying between in every method. So in this way method overloading is occurred. JVM calls the respective method based on the parameters passed to it at the time of the method call. So here it is int x and int y, while in this method we have three parameters, while in this method we have double parameters. So JVM calls the respective method based on the parameters. So it is int, so integer will be called. Here also int, so integer is called. So here it is double, so fractional number will be called. So in this way JVM calls the respective method. For example, here compile time polymorphism is an example for method overloading. Which method is to call is decided by the compiler. So which method has to be called will be decided by the compiler in method overloading. Now let us discuss about compile time polymorphism. So the decision taken by the compiler at compilation time the same decision is implemented by the JVM is called as the compile time polymorphism. So some decision is taken by the compiler, so that decision will be implemented by the JVM. So that implementation is nothing but the compile time polymorphism. So please get my point. So the compiler will take the decision, that decision will be implemented by the JVM. At what time? Compilation time. So the definition for compile time polymorphism is the decision taken by the compiler at the compilation time, the same decision is implemented by the JVM, is called as a compile time polymorphism. And coming to the second point, this type of polymorphism is achieved by function overloading or operator overloading. So this polymorphism is achieved by using the overloading technique. So it can be implemented in a single class. So there is no need to create number of classes. It can be implemented in a single class. While I am discussing the example, you can understand it very clearly. So single object can alone perform the static or compile time polymorphism. Here a single class and a single object can perform the whole compile time polymorphism. Now let us discuss the example. Here I created a class named as animal. So the method in this animal is to eat. So system.out.println eat method. So here I am creating another method. So in this method I am creating one parameter named as int quantity. So system.out.println eat method with the quantity that equals to some quantity. So here quantity means some kg. So the animal eats some amount of the quantity. So it is an integer type. And here I created another method which is a string type. So system.out.println eat method with quantity plus name. So the name of the food which is eaten by the animal is printed here. So here I am creating a single object named as animal. So by using that single object I am giving the inputs to the each method. So animal eat is an empty method, so we will get eat method as an output, while we are giving eat quantity as 50. So quantity is 50 is printed, while we are giving grass as an input, grass will be printed in this method. So the decision which is implemented in the JVM is taken by the compiler and it will print the output. So in this way the compile time polymorphism works. Now let us discuss about method overriding. What is method overriding? In method overriding, superclass and the subclass have methods with same name including the parameters, while in method overloading we have same class but different parameters. But here in method overriding we have superclass and the subclass having methods with the same name. So the methods names are same including with the parameters. So the parameters will be same. So here is a base class which has a void function int a. So while coming to the derived class, it is also having same method with the same parameter. In overriding, return types should also be same. So while in method overloading return types are different, while in method overriding return types are also same. So in method overriding, JVM calls the respective method based on the object used to call the method. So the JVM is dependent on the object. So this object will specify which method has to be called. So in method overriding, it is depend on the object, while in method overloading, the JVM calls itself. Example is runtime polymorphism. Method call is decided by JVM during the runtime. So here the method call is decided by the JVM during the runtime, while during the compile time method call is decided by the JVM in method overloading. So now let us discuss an example. So here I have a laptop. In this laptop class I am having a method named as specifications. In that specifications I would like to print 4 GB RAM, and I have a subclass named as best, and I am inheriting the content which is present in the laptop class. So while I am inheriting the content, so the method name should be same, so public void specifications, but the content which is present in this method has to be changed. So I am updating it as 8 GB RAM. So let us explain an example. Here is a company which has a computer. So initially the computer has an RAM of 4 GB. So you want to update it. So when you are want to updating it, it has to be changed to some 8 GB RAM. While we are changing it, the company name wouldn't be changed or other specifications wouldn't be changed. Only the RAM size will be changed. So here there is no change in the method name, but there will be some change in the content. So here I created an object obj1 equals to new laptop of and another object for the subclass. So by calling the first object, parent class will be called, and by using the another object, subclass will be called. So in this way method overriding is occurred. Now let us discuss about runtime polymorphism. Runtime polymorphism or dynamic method dispatch is a process in which a call to an overridden method is resolved at runtime rather than the compile time. So runtime polymorphism is nothing but it will call a overridden method. So during runtime polymorphism, it will call a overridden method and which will be resolved during the runtime rather than the compile time. While in method compile time polymorphism, it will occur at compile time, while in runtime polymorphism, it will occur in the runtime. It is a process in which a function called to the overridden method is resolved at the runtime. So this is same as the definition. This type of polymorphism is achieved by method overriding. So this polymorphism is achieved by method overriding. So now let us discuss the example. Here I have a parent class named as shape and I have a method named as draw. So this method has to be called in every subclass. So class rectangle extends the shape. So this is a subclass named as the rectangle. In this subclass I have the method named as void draw, which is the parent class method. So in this void method I would like to call some content named as drawing a rectangle. Similarly in different classes, subclasses of different names. So circle extends shape, triangle extends the shape. So you have to understand that in every class we have the same method, that is void draw only, but we also having the same parameters. There are no change in the parameters. So class test polymorphism, public static void main. So this is a main class. In this main class I am calling a main method to print these three of them. So S is a parent reference. So S shows the reference of the object. So please get my point. So S is the reference which shows the object. So shape S is a reference, S is an object, and shape is the reference. We can use a parent class is pointing towards a child class, while a child class cannot point the parent class. Okay, here the parent class shape is used as a reference and S is an object. So S is equals to new rectangle of. So S is used as an object while shape is a reference. So this parent class is pointing towards the child class. So this is the main concept which is in polymorphism. So in this way the content is given to each method and the content which is present in that method will be printed. So in this way the runtime polymorphism will be occurred. I think so you understood it. If you have any doubts, comment below, and subscribe my channel and like the videos which are present in my channel, and share the content. And if you have any doubts, comment below and click the bell icon for my notifications. Thank you everyone.